Hello, if you're new here, welcome. Today I want to talk about our bedroom. As you can see, it's a very simple, very small space. I wanted to detail some of the things that we did to make the space feel more elevated. And I think for anyone who also lives in a very small space or a room that doesn't have a lot of built-in character, this might be really helpful. If this is the first time you're seeing me, here's a quick background. I run an interior design page with my partner Marco, and it's called Taro's House after our dog Taro, who's behind me in bed. Oh, he made an appearance. Hi. We don't really follow a specific aesthetic or style. The way our home came together was pretty organically, and over time I saw it evolve to have more and more personality and more of us in it. Our content quite heavily focuses on the idea that just as we have the power to shape our environment also has a lot of power to shape who we are as people, which is why I think it's really important to be intentional about what we bring into our space and how we go about styling it. I had to take off my earrings because I think the mic was picking up on them, like clicking against each other. Anyways, I wanted to show you a couple of other spaces in our home first. I would say our bedroom is pretty different, especially in our living room and even more so in our studio space. We've gone for a much darker, more moodier feeling. Living room I think is a little bit on the lighter side, but it still has quite a lot of large dark wood furniture. In this space, I've kind of kept it very light and airy and calming. It's a very simple palette, it's a very neutral palette. Even though the bedroom follows a very complementary palette, it is far more minimalistic and less stimulating because I want this space to help me kind of rest at night. The rest of our home is very stimulating and that's how I like it, but for this space I wanted to keep it quite neutral and grounded. Another reason we kept the base palette of this room very neutral is because I wanted to be able to change with the seasons. In the winter I went for much darker sheets, and I think just by changing the nightstands, the decor, it could give you a cozier, much more lived in feeling, whereas right now in the summer I like to go for more like butter yellow, cream, neutral whites, very light color palette, especially for the bedding, linen, and I've changed the nightstands as well. And I think being able to change the look of the room through the seasons is really important to me. I don't want the room to ever feel stuck in time. I want it to evolve with the changing seasons of our lives. Before we get into the details, I do want to talk about what I mean by the base palette of the room. That is obviously the walls and the color that I used, the curtains, the lantern above me, and also the bed. These are the things I don't really change at all. It's been like this for almost, I want to say 3-4 years now. These are the core elements of the space that have stayed stagnant, but I have changed a few things to make the space look even bigger. The first thing is the curtains that you can see on this side. This room actually has one small door looking window. It's a floor to ceiling window, but it doesn't have like the window feeling because it's like a London new build and they have very ugly installments. But I extended the curtains to span the full width of this wall, almost as wide as the bed, and sometimes when my friends come in the evening, they really can't tell. I don't think even in the day people notice that one side is a window and the other isn't, unless now I tell you, obviously you can see it, but from the first glance it really appears that there is a wider window and maybe one side is covered with a blind behind it or something like that. But it does give the appearance that this wall has a big source of light. The other thing is the bed itself. I've chosen a very low to the ground bed so that the space above it feels bigger, because again the ceilings aren't very high and I want to make most of the space. The lantern is quite large because I want it to feel substantial, and the painting is also pretty large above the bed, and for the same reason that it gives a little bit of scale and just draws your eye upwards. I also added some crown molding to the wall earlier this year, and that's the only wall where I've done this. It's also to draw the eye upwards and just give a little bit of texture, because without that the room actually does look a little bit smaller, and I'll show you a side-by-side comparison of what it looked like without this molding and then with it. I do think that with it does give a little bit more traditional look to it. It does help make the room look slightly bigger. For the material palette, I do have stone, concrete, and metal throughout the rest of my home, but in this room you're not going to find any of those. I think just this lamp actually is metal, but it's very, very thin. It's just an accent piece. The rest is either wood, linen, ceramic, a lot of textiles and textures, paper. And the reason for this is I wanted this room to have a much softer feeling overall, and using softer materials obviously helps. I also feel like wood and paper and linen has very natural imperfections to them that give them character, and this is not a hotel, it's our bedroom, and usually it's very messy. I wake up, I make the bed in like 5 minutes, but still it almost invites that mess, and it always looks cozy because nothing here is like clean cut and perfect. And I think sometimes when you have things that are very, very like clean looking, if you add something a little bit of messy next to it, it just stands out more. So this room is almost designed to welcome a bit of mess and a bit of imperfection, and I actually love to photograph it when it's at its messiest because it just feels really endearing to me. Because it's a small space, I also don't have any big bulky furniture in here apart from the bed. Everything else is very light and airy, but everything has good storage. So the nightstands, I used to have more storage in this room. Like right now I'm sitting on my vanity slash desk. Here I had more storage drawers, but since I got rid of them, I actually added a little bit of storage to the nightstands, and they are so cute. The bed also is an ottoman, so you can have extra storage underneath it, but overall all the furniture is very light and airy, and it does give the impression that the room is slightly bigger, because in a small space like this, adding even one big bulky piece of furniture can make it very overwhelming. Since this is also Taro's room, he has his own stairs on this side of the bed, and also on the window I've put like a little fur rug. Today he doesn't need it, but usually when it's cold, that area near the window is really, really cold. So since he sits there and he loves looking out the window all day, I've put like a little rug there. Those two are his things. Almost all of the decorative items in this room is also functional. For example, I have a couple of books on this nightstand, that's Marco's, and all of the skincare and night care items that he loves the most. So it's his little like Aesop corner because that's what he likes the most. And on my side, I have a lamp, I have books, and I've used books as decor because I love reading books and I just love having them around me, and they do add a lot of personality to the space as well. And all the artwork, like I've done this one, I just found something I liked online and I tried to recreate it myself, and then there are some other ones on this wall too. So if not art, I think the rest, everything is very functional. There's nothing here that is purely decorative. I can say that for almost my entire home. I don't think I have a lot of things that are purely decorative. Almost everything has a practical element. Another good example is my little coat rack. I think this is meant to be like an entryway key thing, but I've used it to hang my night robes because it's really convenient to just grab it in case I have like a delivery early in the morning. I also have another setup in the bedroom that is super helpful. I have a hanger and a steamer that is always on standby. It's plugged in, ready to go, filled with filtered water, because I like steaming my clothes. I don't like wearing crinkly clothes, and having to take these out every single time I use them is not very practical. I think that's everything. I hope that this was interesting to listen to, and if you're looking for some inspiration for your home, feel free to follow us at Taro's House. We're on Instagram, Threads, obviously YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, and any other platform you can think of, I guess. If you like this video, please do like it and subscribe, because this is my first like interior style video and I want to make more of these. So I'd love to know what you thought. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.